Welcome back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, Episode 10. Unfortunately, we are missing Wisp's player tonight, so hopefully we will see Elle back for next session. Okay? But with our remaining players, let's find out what they remember from last time, if anything, and then we will commence uh, investigations back on Island Zero. All right, so whomever wants to start. One or two things that you might remember happening last time.
So we are here on Island Zero because of a monster mech controlling program involving teenage pilots with psychic abilities and monsters that, based on the picture in the book, are really fucking cool looking, but are not as big as I expected.
There are pictures.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they're cool. Their golden child and her uh I did not make note of the name of
Halimaws.
Palmas. Yes, thank you. Halimaw, yeah. Um disappeared after saying some vaguely apocalyptically threatening things. And that's why we were called in. Zero got a little peek inside the general's head to see if he knew anything, where he saw that the general had been part of an experiment to try and make monster human hybrid control-y things, but it didn't seem like it went well. And Wisp got really close to one of the Halimaws at one point, and that also didn't go well. And yeah, I think that's the main parts that I recall.
I will add on to that. There was Zero attacking a lieutenant to.
He asked first.
And then proceeding to teenager very hard at another of the pilots.
Yes, he did say that her monster mech had a stupid name.
And then
I feel like that was Wisp that mostly started that conversation, but I might be misremembering.
No, it was Zero and Vivi in the hallway when one of the pilots tried to get past them, and Zero was like, "No."
And Vivi tried to show off her Wisp by disappearing a whiteboard, which was not the most impressive flex, but hey,
it spooked the humans. Something real specific.
That's true. It did that. And we all saw. Vivi saw premonitions for about everyone, all the other Omen class monsters.
Yeah. Petri didn't do anything. They and Lydia had kind of a moment towards the end there. He was a little worm guy at some point. That was the session.
So yet somehow Petri remained the weirdest character despite doing nothing.
Sometimes it's about the goo you don't excrete.
Channel the missing. You burst out of that.
Not to say that I did not excrete goo several times during last session, but in a rather free jazz adjacent manner. And that was kind of all I was doing.
Oh, well, you have more opportunities to do so today, for sure. So yeah, the doomsday clock had ticked over a couple of times, and you, or I should say the camera, had seen maybe not necessarily the actual omens, but the camera had seen that there was in the monstrous graveyard, where a bunch of bones from the rift monsters, um, it's like basically a blasted area that nothing can grow, even though the rest of the island is very verdant. There was like bones bursting out of the ground and then turning into a throne. And all instruments went haywire on Island Zero. One or two of the Halimaw were agitated, and yeah, you guys were in the middle of that. So yeah, last we saw, I believe, Zero and Vivi were out in the one hall after meeting up with one of the pilots, and then Petri had gone to the actual launch pad where Luna and her Halimaw had disappeared to try and find some traces of them, some evidence, something. And Petri had gone with Agents Danvers and Peace. And then Wisp had tried to engage with one of the Halimaw, and that didn't quite go so well. Yeah, so we'll just say that Wisp is busy helping out with the Halimaw that were agitated and possibly trying to calm, as Wisp does, some of the others. But at any rate, what are you three doing now that we find ourselves back here? Let's just go over what we have so far with the mystery. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5. 5 clues, 5 keys, available on the board. 1 key already matched up with a particular facet, and the complexity is at a minimum 8. So, yeah, you still have a chance to investigate and see what you can gather, and then try to figure out what the hell is going on. The facets are the possession and disappearance of Luna Nakahara and Hydra Omicron, the Rift, the Harbinger, and the Door of Power. Okay? So, where do we find you guys?
Are we allowed to go to the Rift? Is that like a place we can go to, or is that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going there for sure.
I mean, it seems like a good place to check.
Okay.
Although, did you get any clues from the launch pad?
I was supposed to, right? Or did I max out?
Mm,
I feel like I rolled an 11 plus because
You
I
did.
distinctly remember rolling a 12 plus 3 or something like that.
yes, you did. And I'm trying to remember. I thought that last clue was the one that I gave you for it.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty sure that was, because I think yours was the last roll to get a key.
It was the weapon, right? Or I guess it
Uh,
must have been.
No, it was power from the rifts harnessed and the corruption that bleeds from it. So that was the last clue. I mean, yeah, the last key. So, but yeah, I do believe I gave you one of those keys to be able to apply towards this. Okay. So, the rift. So while they're doing that, Zero, what are you going to do?
What time is it, roughly speaking?
Well, it took you several days to get over there, especially getting through all the checkpoints and the void channels. Let's just say after all the activity that had happened, let's say it's going into nighttime here.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the living quarters because Cobb isn't here to stop me.
Oh,
That's right. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So, let me get Vivi and Petri over by the rift first, and then like Zero, I'll have you perusing the living quarters. Alrighty. Okay. So, this interdimensional rift, it's, think of a crevasse that has smoke coming from it and energy coming from it, invisible or visible as it were. It's essentially a scar that is opening into a nightmare realm. And every so often there's some of these monsters, that will burst through and make their way onto the island, and the teenagers and their Halimaw are essentially sent to beat them back down into the rift or prevent them from leaving the island. So, I mean, some of them are wandering around here, like just kind of more docile than they were when they came out. And others have been beaten back into the rift itself. Right now, it's, even in the dark, even in the twilight, you can see energy emanating from it, and it's coming off as either flashes of light or mists and smoke. I mean, right now it seems to be quiet, but I mean, again, you hear in the distance, like, as you're making your way through the vegetation here, I think you hear distant cries from certain creatures that are still on the island and not down in the rift itself.
Vivi stops fairly far back from the rift, enough to see it, but sort of, giving it a wide, respectful berth, and will just sort of look at it and say, just genuinely, humans are so strange. I can't imagine why they would just leave this here.
The rift?
Yes. No, a can of tuna. Yes, the rift.
I don't think they can close it.
Well then,
I don't think they're trying.
if they're intent on leaving it there, or at least if they're unable to close it, why not harvest the energy then? This is the worst of both worlds.
They are doing that. Don't worry.
Are,
Not here, but everywhere else. It's all the same rift. The monsters would be much bigger if they weren't.
well, glad to see that they have some sense at least.
I would never call killing children sense.
Less about the children part and more about the utilizing the resources part.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
I'm
Can you close it? Or should I?
I don't know. Shall we try?
Let's. How does this work?
I mean, this would be, I'm gonna say, hold on, let's see. I'd be curious to see, to fictionally position this with the mechanics. I would say, like, definitely power through darkness. Unless you can pull some other moves within your own playbook to meld together in some way, and then we'll see what your roles are for whatever particular move each of you are doing, and then see how that twists the fiction.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you truly want to try to do this, this would be fun.
Maybe we'll look over at Petri and say, you don't suppose they would be upset if we closed it, would they?
Extremely. I refer again to the killing children, though.
Right. Well, and Vivi kind of stands up straighter and brushes off their clothing and
What is the... Well, you could do your thing.
suppose we could. So it's not a clean tear, is it?
This platform we're on, does it like encircle the whole rift, or is it...
Oh, it can't. I mean, just imagine, you've made your way to one of the viewing platforms per se. I mean, like,
How big a rift we talking here?
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off as like
Also, approximately how big are the Halimaws, if they're supposed to be smaller than I would expect?
no description per se. I mean, in terms of, hold on, let me see if because one of the Halimaws that's deceased, it's a massive heart. So while the Halimaw themselves are not rift monsters, they are something that can be as large. In fact, just look at the POIs. Apostle Solar is described as a titan, so probably as big as one of the rift monsters. Like we're talking kaiju here, okay? So, like everything's big. Everything's pretty big here. And the way the teenagers are able to connect with these Halimaw specifically to fight the rift monsters is not only through psychic technology, but because they are psychic and they just happen to have that kind of connection. Nobody knows, though, how they're being picked. They don't have any specific DNA tracers or anything like that that could possibly indicate, or any background that could indicate why they are able to do this. Cool. Thank you.
Oh, they are small.
I mean, they're still big.
Yeah,
There's-
nah, but like you that's like the size of a guar suit. Well, maybe two.
I don't know what that is.
The band guar?
Oh,
It's like massive heads or whatever. I mean, but
Yeah, they're like that this is like the size of some Power Rangers villains before they get real big.
I mean, I'm not sure that the scale of that image is accurate because it says the monsters can destroy like a city in an hour.
and there's also this
I prefer
picture,
to think
which-
that they are that small and that destructive. I think that's
That's actually
way
interesting.
cooler.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but let's just.
Also,
the
there's
rift.
a teen in there. Like
Yeah.
the process of quote unquote boarding one of these things, if they're only like 15 feet long.
do they board it or do they just like mentally bond?
Or are they like Pokemon? Are they like off site sending it somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, like, the inspiration for this particular mystery was definitely like Pacific Rim style type of stuff. So, I mean, just imagining from afar for the most part. But also,
I'm just imagining like this dog in this image, which sorry for all of our viewers that we're spending so much time describing this image. But that's like that could not easily swallow a teen whole. And the image of having to be like actually eaten in pieces to board your mech is so fucked up and metal. I'm surprised I've never seen it before.
so the specific file description is that once a teen is connected to a Halimaw, they are forever changed. When the teens become adults, they change in unpredictable ways. All lose their ability to connect to their Halimaw, thus unable to pilot. Some show signs of mutations, new abilities or physical features that can't be explained by science. Very few even become rift monsters themselves, eventually growing colossal in size, losing most of their memories and the ability to speak. So conceivably, some of these monsters that are wandering around Island Zero could be former pilots.
Oh, I can fix them.
But yeah, so it's the kind of stuff that you run into. I mean, regardless of scale of the Halimaw themselves, I'm gonna say that it's the constant reiteration of the Rift monsters, coming from the Rift being colossal. So, Titan sized to cause havoc, and they are the vanguard against like these creatures like coming off of Island Zero and wreaking havoc. But again, that's why they have prayers over the Halimaw. That's why they have the void channels and everything like that to try and stop the rift from cracking further into mundane reality. So, I mean, if you guys want to try and do something to the rift to try and seal it, I mean, you can attempt it. I'm curious to see what the random
we are perhaps the two most powerful reality warping beings currently present in this reality.
Oh, but we know that a miss or a
Oh
yeah.
Definitely, for
I'm
sure.
looking forward to failing this roll very hard.
I'm
Me
spending
too.
3. I've already spent the 3 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Good thing I was torn between on the last roll of last session.
Okay.
Is
Okay,
there advantage in this? Would they get advantage for doing it together? Maybe.
I don't think we get anything, at least not out of the box.
I mean, like this is something quite unique. I mean, I have not seen anything that indicates a helping role, but again, I want to see both these roles. If both are acting with their own powers, power through darkness, and then working in concert, we can see how this goes. I'm curious to see like if somebody's role is gonna fuck up the other role, or if they both fail,
sure.
or if they both get monstrous successes. Oh man, this could be hilariously fun. So let's see what this looks like.
I have several ideas of how this can go wrong for Petri.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm happy for Vivi to start. I think Vivi just starts walking forward, but almost expands like a slinky. Like there is now a trail of Vivi, and Vivi sort of you see little flashes as emanations of them appear sort of all the way down the length of the rift, going off into the distance on both sides, and they're all moving in a synchronized way. It's all still one Vivi, but they are sort of mirror images of each other, and they form what looks almost like a giant needle and thread, and begin They throw it across the rift to each other and start like stabbing into the ground as if to stitch up the very ground itself.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Ooh.
All right.
Spend my 2 darkness tokens, all I got, and
Okay.
roll for a total of 7.
Ah. All
Woo!
right, let's see if I can
Already a
step
great
in.
start.
Let's see if I could step in.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna record this 7. Okay, and you can still do the Slinky reference as well because it's like again.
Oh no, I haven't. Don't worry, I have plans.
Okay.
Like I said, I have a million of these.
Alrighty. So tell me what.
Which is
Tell me.
okay. Now seeing Vivi falter in this way, I think what Petri will do is simply become a giant hand, float over to where the hypothetical like quantum needle is, pick it up and keep going.
Oh my gosh. Yes, ship it too. All right.
There
See
are
how-
alternate realities where Petri is madly in love with each and every one of you. Never forget that.
Oh my gosh.
Not Zero. He doesn't. He's never thought about Zero.
Yes, especially Zero.
Oh,
It's not
there's.
proximate, especially not after Petri put his foot in his mouth like that. But all right, that's a 7 plus 3
10.
for a 10.
Nice. Okay. Alrighty. So, how Vivi's move, powering through darkness, 7, offer you something connected to what the darkness demands of you. Okay, so I'm going to address that for definite sure. Give me a second. This is the last.
The darkness demands that you betray division and resurrect their people at the expense of humanity, and in a more sort of like proximal way, stealing a Halimaw would be fantastic for doing that. Or at least would be useful to have some sort of large exosuit type of thing to enact some theoretical apocalyptic plan.
I think you're getting that in the form of one of these rift monsters. And for some reason, this rift monster looks and feels very familiar to you. They come in all shapes and sizes, but again, mostly the rift monsters themselves are colossal. What does this rift monster look like to you, Vivi? And why is it calling out to what the darkness demands of you?
I think initially it's hard to tell, but as the monster climbs from the rift, its shape begins to kaleidoscope a bit and to show stars, and Vivi, I think, sees it and gasps, and at that's the point when they drop the needle. And no, that can't be. Is that? No, you're dead. You're not real.
What is it, Vivi?
What is
Can't
it
be
ever? It's the other people of Vivi's race.
Let go of that form. You don't own it. That is not your pattern. Stop.
I think that particular rift monster will turn to you as if it understands, and it'll just make a screeching cry as if, stop me if you can. And Petri, you succeed with the 10. I guess putting your hand on the like on the rift, kind of, describing to me how how you attempt to
Sort of
close
pinch.
it.
I mean, I imagine or Vivi got like most of the way there. I just had to kind of come in and twist it a little bit at the end
Hmm.
and stop
Perhaps,
Vivi from falling into the ocean.
yeah. But I imagine that not before this one particular rift monster stops Vivi in his tracks and escapes. So now you have at least one rift monster to deal with, and it's not all the way closed. Um, you've just, again, pinched and twisted off an end for right now. So we'll see how this goes. But I think as this one particular rift monster freezes Vivi and you're doing your particular action, Petri, I think we see. Give me a second. We see the camera will kind of do a drone shot up from above as you see the rift being mostly closed by this and this creature coming out doing its kaleidoscope action and then streaking from the base um, is or excuse me what looks like a very large black cat with sharp tentacles and dripping teeth, and then something that just looks like a blur but large. Somehow it's defying gravity and and the weight of its size and making its way towards this rift monster. So these two Halimaw are uh, engaging with it and fighting it, and maybe you can hear patterns in the air, but you can hear like some sort of like radio signal or something underlying like beyond hearing, and it's the two um, pilots piloting these two Halimaw to engage. And then Zero, while this is going on, maybe you hear some of these screeches from outside, but it's muffled here on the base, as the base is partially, or mostly actually, underground. You make your way to the living quarters. They are actually more spacious and welcoming than one would expect as you make your way down here. Um, what do you see that gives you that impression? What is
That it's,
beautiful to you?
I think uh, the architecture has incorporated a lot of greenery and water features. There's walls of plant life and little flowing fountain features all throughout. It's all very calming and relaxing, and it feels natural in a way that a lot of the rest of the base doesn't. And everyone seems to have their own room, and everything seems to be clean and well appointed. And it doesn't smell like sulfur.
Do you engage anybody to ask anything, or do you just kind of make your way through and then just make like you belong there? I think the commander and possibly Dr. Zamora would have indicated that while you are here, you all have quarters here as well.
I don't suppose Dr. Zamora is currently on duty, is she?
Well, she was the one that was like, what are you doing? Like when you
Right, but it's
smacked
been half an
Commander.
hour or so, I guess. Never mind. No, I think he's just going to find somewhere quiet, and he's going to just do his version of stepping sideways, I think, and he's going to step into the dreams of this place, these people.
Nice. Okay. I think you find what would be essentially their, um, like how back in Manila, part of the chapel had like a walking path, like a walking maze. In this particular place, the calming structure is what looks like an underground pool with water running through it, but continually being filled, and you're not sure where it's being emptied. But then it's like it's just very, again, lush, and the waterfall is not. It's not a torrent. It's more like a sheet that continually flows down one of the rock walls and then makes into the pool and fills it in this quiet movement. Doesn't burble, doesn't, you know, it gives you the impression of stillness as well as movement at the same time. And you can sit on the edge here at the rock and contemplate whatever you need to contemplate. It resembles very slightly your pool back at Division, but as you say, it doesn't smell like sulfur.
And yeah, I think I will use Walk With Me in Dreams to. So I will seek out insight or wisdom in the dreams of this place and the people here, and I'll spend 2 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
A 10.
Nice. All right. On an 8 to 10, you find exactly what you are looking for. Choose 2 of those things.
I would like to unearth a secret and bring something back from the dream.
Nice. Okay. Let's see what makes sense here. Looking at what we currently have. Perfect. Both of these things play right into what you find. As the water flows from a recess in the rock down as a sheet into the pool, these murmurs, or barely any murmurs, any of these flowing sounds, start to create some kind of language, some kind of pattern that you recognize in these dreams that you are engaged with here in this place. And what the dreams show you, do you see yourself walking in this place? Like starting off at the pool, but then like your dream self walking through this base? Or do you see yourself walking in a different dimension and then seeing things as phantoms of themselves?
I think it's actually a strange kind of amalgam of both. It's like his physical form isn't. No, wait, yeah, his physical form is gone. It is
Okay.
in this place, this overlay on the real world of dream and potential.
The reason I say that is because the secret that you unearth as you, not yourself, not physical, make your way, you see maybe a ghost, an image of the tech that they're using, like maybe like not the helmets, but like the comms, like, you know, maybe partially like an eyepiece, like leading into the ear, and then like, you know, around and down. But you see them as creatures, and you see that these creatures are twisted and broken in some way, showing, and I'm going to write this in here, Signs of sabotage. Barely perceived. Okay, so that's what you see there. I mean, you can interpret this in any way that you want, obviously, as you will, but you see it as something has been done here not naturally. This did not naturally happen. Someone had sabotaged them. And then as you're walking through and seeing these signs, you grasp what look like flitting pieces of paper, like as if a breeze has kicked up here in this dream potential, and maybe you're swatting them away from your face, but every so often you just absent-mindedly pick at them and then just put them in a pocket. Like, even though you're not physical, I mean, like, you're somehow grabbing these things and then kind of keeping them with you. And I think when you come out of this meditative dream, I think you have in your hands what was dream stuff, but now is made real. And what they are seriously, can't type today. You read each of them, and they are messages from Luna that were never sent, admitting to deep-seated fears no one knew she had. Not like diaries, not like things that she might have said to someone, but more of like thoughts, as if you manifested her thoughts in the dream and brought them here.
I think Zero will look at those, and there's clear disappointment on his face, annoyance perhaps, and then he'll just stick it in the pocket of his pants and push himself back up from where he was sitting, and yeah, he's ready to move on.
I think as you leave this place, I think you will run into someone. I mean, probably like literally bump into somebody as they're trying to come into the room. And first thing that you notice is that this person looks amazingly like Luna. At least the pictures that you were shown and in the video, where Luna herself had like, long dark black hair. This person's head is shaved. The only reason that you know that this person resembles Luna is that, you know, pale skin and those milky blue eyes are something that you can't forget. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize anybody was here. She's dressed in long robes of like a priestess, and she has a circlet on her head.
I think Zera's going to peer at her hard and say, you're not her.
If you mean my sister, no. I'm Celine.
I'm Zero. And he's going to hold his hand out toward her.
And she will slowly, shyly take it as she
And I'm
tells
gonna. You can't hide my heart from me.
Oh, you clever dog. Yeah. She was going to tell you that she oversees the rituals and prayers for the spell tech here, but, you know. All right, so let's see. What do you need for can't hide your heart? Okay.
I will take 2 darkness tokens from feeling frustrated or scared by
Mm,
what he saw in the dream or what he took back from the dream, and then I'm going to spend it and roll for you can't hide my heart.
okay.
Hide your heart.
Mm.
That's an 11.
On an 11. Their minds bleed into yours. Choose one of these above, and they will choose one to ask you as well. And the
Yep.
keeper will tell you how their heart is corrupted by your power, and then you will gain a bond. So,
I would like to know what they're hiding.
okay. She's hiding. She wasn't necessarily hiding it from the higher ups. So Commander Payne is aware of this, but only he and I think the head scientist, um, Kalia Rosario. I don't think you guys met her yet. I think they're the only two that are aware exactly how powerful Celine is. She doesn't go into. She's not actually a pilot. She actually works with her Halimaw to maintain the protective spell tech, as well as using her formidable psychic energy to power the outpost's spell tech components and machines. She is very valuable here. And then she's going to ask you, give me a half a mo.
So sorry, is the fact that she is so vital what's being kept secret from everyone else?
Yes. Okay, and then she asks you, I think as you're touching hearts and minds, I think she will smile at you here. And like again, you have viewed the extent of her power, which goes beyond what most people suspect. Um, and she says, in your head, I'm sorry that Mysterious has insisted that you come to Island Zero. I assure you, my psionics will find Luna soon. Finding my sibling and her Halimaw is of the utmost importance. Let us work together instead. And she touches into you and she asks you to reach into yourself and asks you, what don't you realize you know? So this is where you will draw a line between a key and a facet of the mystery. And this is where you can declare an irrevocable truth about the mystery as well.
So I think that what I did not realize that I know is that I can do what Mysterious does with their psychics using dreams to locate pilots. And the key that I would like to draw is I think the undying remains of the first monster that created the rift is related directly to the possession disappearance of Luna.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, go ahead and move that over there. Yep, cool. All right, great. All right, cool. In fact, let me just change that color so we know that that is now tied together specifically. Same with this. Yep. Okay. All right, so those two things are covered, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay. All right. Back to you two. So yeah, this creature has escaped. Yeah, Vivi, you see these two Halimaw engage, tearing into the creature that has put you into a state of awe. And Petri, it's like you're holding on by, trying to keep that part of the rift closed so no other creatures get out at the moment.
Hmm.
But at some point you're going to have to let go.
That's what you think. I have a move specifically for, I mean, not specifically for this, but that I think will be applicable.
Okay. What is it?
Where is it? Hang on. I gotta open up my playbook. Oh, I know I already have it. It's the ruin move, Those Who Wait at the Darkened Gate. I can summon an abomination and get it to do something such as, for instance, hold this rift closed from the other side.
Oh, shit. Ooh, okay. Fought Shadows of Reality. We do Illusion Defeat, okay. Mark Ruin twice. Oh, shit. And choose one. Oh, man. How far does that
That
put
reminds
you?
me, I never cleared my ruin track. I should have none.
Okay. All right. So, yeah.
There's so many little things to keep track of.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah. So you add 2 Ruin if you're going to do this, and then choose one of those
sure
things.
am and do.
Okay. And then which one of these things are you going to
It is a beast of burden, dutiful
Ah.
and patient. It eases the load on my shoulders.
Tell me what this looks like as it helps you with this closure for the most part.
Now this I am not too sure about. Like, I already turned myself into a giant hand, so I can't have it be that.
Mm-hmm. But if you make it into something that can take your place somehow, tell me what it looks like.
I'm thinking. What I really should have done is have been Googling bugs this whole time.
While you're thinking, I'm gonna ask Vivi what you're doing. I mean, again, you see Petri at the moment being hand still, and these two Halimaw engaging with the creature. What do you want to do?
The obvious thing to do is to stop the Halimaw from engaging with the creature, since the creature is maybe another pattern dancer. We'll see. Vivi will just abandon the attempt to keep the rift closed and take off after the creature and towards the Halimaws.
Okay. Okay.
And we like yelling and waving, "No, stop! Don't hurt them!"
In this case, this is someone though, not necessarily a monster. Do you have a move on your playbook that you want to use, or what do you think? I mean,
Well,
the closest thing I can see is like Unleash the Dark, but I'm not sure if that goes for a monster or if that's something that's more for.
yeah, that I have no tokens. This, I'm sure, will go extremely well for me.
Of course.
And so Vivi will try to take the Halimaw and just, it would go worse if they were able to get injured. So Vivi will try to make them stop, just like freeze.
So trying to freeze the
The
creature.
Halimaw. Oh no, the
Oh, wait.
Halimaws.
Oh.
Because they're
Oh.
attacking.
Yeah.
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 And Vivi wants them to stop.
Ooh. Okay.
And so as they run towards the Halimaw after the creature that came out of the rift, they reach into spatial reality and pull and roll a 6.
You have greatly underestimated them. Keeper will describe the desperate position you find yourself in. Oh boy. Ah. You trying to get him to stop. If you were human, it's like trying to stop a train from moving.
Maybe Spider-Man can do it.
Yeah, but you've underestimated the two
Oh,
of them.
indeed.
I mean, one is already Apostle Solar is already a Titan in size and speed, so it's kind of like maybe if you had only one of them to concentrate on, perhaps that would be the case. But because you have the other one bounding, like, right next to them, I'm thinking that, yeah, Garnet Cyclone is not going to give you any quarter and will, see that you're trying to stop Apostle Solar and will pounce on you in your current form, and you are seeing very close up and personal the dripping acid that's coming from their teeth as they, have their claws on you, and the tentacles are waving wildly, from their back, and they are threatening you with their bared mouth. That is the desperate position you find yourself in at the moment.
Fantastic.
Petri, do you know what you are doing right now with your beast of burden?
I mean, it's a big spider.
Ah,
Or perhaps a
Of
clown.
course it
It's
is.
difficult to tell from this distance.
okay. So how do you get it to clamp down on that side of the rift?
I mean, everything that Petri does comes from his own body. But this is very specifically something without. Something that is not part of the collective, that can never be part of Petri. So what I think that they will do is sort of, how to say this? Dangle their human form like an anglerfish on the other side of the rift. And just sort of wait and trust that other members of the collective, other Petris, are doing this in the same way at the same place. Probably on the other side of the rift, you can see them even as things break down. And there is just a crowd, an ever-growing mass of human-esque Petris dangling like so many hanged men. And then something takes the bait.
Oh my gosh.
Or not. Let's see. Actually, is marking. Do I even need to roll for this?
No, you mark 2 ruin, and then it happens. Like you call
Yeah.
upon this creature. So
At least one member of the collective is swallowed whole, never to be seen or thought of again.
oh my gosh. So this creature of yours is doing what to the rift?
Oh, it just swallows it whole, I imagine. This sort of a thing, sort of a motif I'm going for.
Interesting. sound like more and more of the hunger the more I think about it. But
No, I've thought about this a lot, and no, it's just like the motivation is different.
okay.
Like the horror of Petri is not that he will consume the world. I mean, it is, but it's different. Trust me.
Which Petri? Okay.
Petri is not disordered eating.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I mean, this creature has taken the bait and, like, started to slowly munch on what it can get its hands on. And in the interim, I think maybe it is creating its interdimensional webbing that might be trying to encompass or cover the part of the rift that it can perceive. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. Back at the headquarters. Dreams to locate pilots. Do you stay and talk with Celine, or do you go elsewhere here?
I think I do stay and talk with her, but only long enough to find out where her Halimaw is.
Yeah, I think they've moved Sakura Vanguard out from the original hangar bay and has... Sakura Vanguard is actually, like, set free. In terms of, they don't perform the same function as the actual action/battle Halimaw. They are set free to, how to say, they're kind of like the drone that will survey the land and be like the carrier slash conveyor of the spell tech, and she's psychically connected to Sakura Vanguard, so this way anything that she performs in terms of the prayers and the patterns and the rituals can be done through Sakura and then spread to the different parts of the island. So yeah, Sakura Vanguard is on patrol. I mean, if you want to call it that, right? So, and I think as you maybe release your connection with Celine, perhaps you're seeing an image of what she's saying, which is, seeing this very moth-like gigantic thing, and the wings are not physical, they are bioluminescent and just as if they're like holograms or just made of pure energy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my way out of the base to
Okay.
where I know Sakura Vanguard is.
Okay. All right, and we're gonna take a 10-minute break since we're nearing the end of the hour. So 10 minutes, and at the top of the hour we will come back and then see what everybody's doing. Alrighty.
Only good choices.
Only good choices. So good. Okay. Yeah, Vivi, you were in the clutches of one of the Halimaw for trying to stop them from doing their job. What are you doing?
I think Vivi just is shocked for a moment, and then their eyes kind of go cold, and they take a tone, and they say, just loud enough that the Halimaw can hear, "Get off me, human. Now."
I think you're going to hear... sorry, I don't have these memorized. You're going to hear Garnet Cyclone's pilot, Malika, actually, it's the teenager who was in the wheelchair that had, pushed past you, tried to push past you and Zero. So you hear her rather strident voicing, "What are you doing out here? Get out of our way! Garnet Cyclone's going to well, kick you off the playing field for getting interfering."
It is you who are interfering. I will not ask another time.
Garnet Cyclone will take their claws off of you, but then they will try to scruff you using their teeth and then
Excellent.
essentially try to toss you off to the side so this way they can get their job done.
Okay. Is that like immediately happening? Or do I have to am I flying through the air now?
I mean, if you want to do anything at this point, this is your opportunity to try. As Garnet Cyclone's trying to do this to you.
Sure, let me just look at my notes again for the character. This is Malika, yes?
Yes, Malika is the pilot.
And Vivi say, Malika, I've seen all of the pasts. You are never good enough, and certainly not to deal with me. You never will be. You never are. Put me down.
Are you unleashing the dark or something else?
This is just a threat.
Okay.
The next explanation is I am your destruction.
Hello, what? What is that? Ooh. I remember this power. This was awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, you feel Garnet Cyclone, essentially trying to flip you over and then kind of tossing you off to the side.
Nope. All right, I'm gonna roll for I am your destruction.
Okay.
Um.
Oh,
When
wait,
you
wait, wait, wait. When you allow your power surge cause great collateral damage, ask the cast. Okay. Yeah.
this isn't a roll, even, is it?
No. No.
Okay,
Doesn't look like it.
cool.
You just pick.
Yeah. So, um,
Yeah, ask the keeper what catastrophic destruction you cause.
yeah,
I will allow you to describe this for me. You have to choose two of these things. Oh my god. What the heck?
I want to uh tear this space apart. What was uh adjacent, like, space is
Mhm.
now meters apart, and I think ideally part of Garden Cyclone will be on either side of it.
Yes. In fact, it's going to be so bad that your great collateral damage will cause another event. The rift will open up violently regardless of Petri's creature. What Petri's creature is doing. It'll essentially toss that interdimensional being back into its own dimension or another one. And yeah, the clock ticks forward. So, the rift opens violently, contradicting predictions and patterns. The fauna and foliage of Island Zero begins to mutate wildly. And the pilots show similar mutations years ahead of what is expected. So, I'm going to say that the camera, as you're activating your powers, again, it's not only are you kicking Garnet Cyclone to the metaphysical curb, you are also causing the rift to open up and shifting reality, messing with time. So the pilots, you can hear screaming as Malika and Asterio, you hadn't met him yet, but I mean, you're hearing the screams of these pilots as something's happening to them. I think there's some kind of mutation, like maybe we see their silhouettes in the camera, and something is happening to them as the rift goes wild. And should I ask the question, which one of the omens shows signs of similar mutation? Would that be you, Vivi?
Yeah.
What does the mutation look like on your current form?
Don't want to stray too far into Petri's territory is the problem here. I can't be like, I grow extra arms. But
Sure.
I
Petri's more malleable. I mean, like,
yeah.
You think I would ever stop at just extra arms?
Fair enough.
I'm currently a giant hand.
Yeah, I'm just curious to hear what kind of mutation Vivi experiences.
I'm open to suggestions here too. I'm not sure what to do. So
Well, considering the proximity to the rift itself, as well as the activation of your power and the mutations have to do with time. Again, the teens would eventually turn and mutate as they age out of connecting with their Halimaws. All that has happened is the acceleration of this process. So, oh, did I give you that bond? I just remembered. Going back to 0. You gain a bond with Selena Nakahara. If I forgot to let you know that, 0.
Thank you.
Yup.
okay. So I think a couple of things happened.
Mhm.
I think Vivi just physically grows. Like they don't it's their proportions don't change. They just are. Someone has hit resize on them because that's what Vivi would do as they got older anyway, and they're not controlling their form right now. And as this happened, a second set of arms bursts out from below Vivi's first set, and they aren't normal. They are grasping, clawing things that seem to pull at. They warp space itself. It seems like that might have been what was actually used, and for just a moment there is this terrible hunger in Vivi, and they look at the two pieces of Garnet Cyclone and roar, I warned you to put me down. And then they look down and see what they've done.
Right. But again, I think you hear the distant screaming, and it's not it's not audible sound, it's more of a as the pilots and you are experiencing this mutation, I think it's just proximity at this point. Your proximity to the rift, your proximity to the Halimaws who are connected psychically to their pilots, you are hearing their screams as something is happening to them. And you don't know what.
I also have to ask, so I'm using destruction to reshape the environment.
Mhm.
I'm also going to permanently gain an aspect of the Harbinger's powers of darkness and mark a ruin.
Woo! Okay.
Uh,
Alrighty.
I don't know what those powers are, so that's a you question.
Okay. So let's see. Let me just take a look at that thing again. Da-dum. Okay. Permanently gain. Ah, yes. Okay. Ah, I loved my surge. Which is where this comes from. So, trying to remember different powers of darkness. Well, you're gonna love this one. So, power of darkness that you get is singing a song of death.
Interesting.
Plays right into what you were working on with Agent Ehrlich. But yes, that is the power of darkness that you can add to your list. Where? I don't know. So you're gonna have to like figure out a way to put in notes.
I got it.
Sorry. But yes.
Good. Okay. And Vivi stands there for a moment, and then like it's like suddenly they hear the screaming, and they look around, and just there's panic. And if oh, so important question: where is, or is it gone, the monster that came from the rift?
It is currently engaged with Apostle Solar. I mean, you know, tried to stop both of them, but Apostle was only stopped for maybe half a second or, a little bit of time before it just slammed on its own into the creature that you were looking upon. So, it is currently engaged.
And where's Petri after this?
That's what I was going to ask.
That's a good question.
Do you come out of being a hand and
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
the hand also gets eaten, presumably.
well, I mean, again, all of this is affecting anything in the vicinity. So the rift essentially throws you off, whatever form you're at, throws off your beast of burden from the other dimension, and yeah.
And all that, I marked 2 ruin for nothing.
I wouldn't say nothing. I mean, it was easing your load for a little bit.
Yeah, and then somebody had to go and ruin it.
You can you can berate him later. What do you want to do now?
I think I'm not sure how the timing on this would work out, but I think Petri is currently sort of clinging to the back of the rift monster.
Oh, that's delicious. I love it. Yeah, maybe as all this is happening or something like that, you found yourself like getting real close.
It slipped out. I have had a documented ability to produce holograms of myself.
Mm,
So the big hand and a different, smaller Petri both exist at the same time.
yeah, I totally can do that, sure. I mean, everything's contradicting predictions and patterns. So, I mean, the vegetation itself,
It's what I do.
right. Well, I mean, I'm saying it's like if this was a more peaceful time, I'm sure Petri might be slightly fascinated by all of the vegetation going nuts. So
Oh yeah. Oh no. They're this whole place is one giant Zen garden. Petri already had his full session of being in complete awe.
so yeah. So if you're on the back of this rift monster who is fully engaging with Apostle Solar, I mean, like, all the colossal slams and jams that you can think of
Oh yeah.
as kaiju fight. I mean, basically that's what it is. What are you doing? What would you like
I
to do?
truly have no idea.
Hmm.
Other than, I guess, attempt to leap onto the Halimaw.
No, no.
Or
We will yell, Petri, send it somewhere else. Send it somewhere safe.
I would have loved to. Oh, you want me? Wait, you want me to save it? All right, fine, I'll do that.
Wait, save the Halimaw or save
Let me
the
see.
rift
No,
monster?
The Rift Monster.
Let me think. Let me think about this for a second.
Straining to do the extraordinary.
Save
think I
everybody,
will.
Petri. If you would just keep making a mess and you can clean it up.
It's what I do best. It's what I'm here to do. Really, if everyone just listened to me, we wouldn't be in this situation. But I'm happy to help. I have to be. Okay, so what is going on in my head right now is that I am torn between shape
Ooh.
shifting into not like that, although probably also like that later.
Okay.
But I, Chris, the player, am torn between becoming like a big snake to hog tie the presumably quadruped cat-like rift monster,
Mm,
or just growing to 70 feet tall and holding them apart.
interesting. Hmm. Well, okay, just to clarify, Garnet Cyclone, which is the cat-like tentacled creature, is
Oh,
one of the
sorry.
Halimaw. No. I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah.
And then the only real description of Apostle Solar is that it's very big, but very fast, and it is
Oh, right, it's a
Titan-sized.
blur.
Yeah, and
Then
then
definitely I'm gonna hog tie it since I'm already on its back.
um, but the Rift Monster itself looks like you were saying,
It's
Vivi, it was kaleidoscopic, like it was changing shape and shifting.
yeah. I think the thing that's going to be apparent eventually, though, the longer you look at it, the more it's clear it's not what Vivi is.
Ah,
It looked close to that.
gotcha.
Or maybe
Okay.
Vivi really wanted to look like that because, fixation.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, I know
Makes-
exactly what I'm gonna do if you let me, if I roll well.
Okay.
But I am going to try and like effectively pin it down while I
Mhm.
am clinging to it.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's unleashing the dark.
Enforcing your will on someone, physically, socially, or emotionally.
Sure is.
Sounds good. All right, go for it.
And really, this is to show Vivi that it is not a pattern dancer because I could never do this to Vivi.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I'm spending my last 2 darkness tokens.
Don't forget you can earn as you
Oh, I
go.
know.
Yeah.
I started this session with 5. I think I'm good,
Okay.
considering 5 is the threshold. And good thing, too, that's another 7.
Ah.
Plus 2 for a 9.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, wait,
Good.
why is this good? Unleash the dark. Okay, hold on. 8 to
I
10.
love bell curves.
On
They're
8 to
so
10,
kind to me.
you wield the darkness with control and ease. Choose 2 of those things
Let me see.
under Unleash the Dark. Basic moves.
Yeah, I have to scroll within the. Thank you, uh, Ben, I think, for putting these little notes on the character keeper. Very helpful.
Which
Now, this
two-
is a roll against Vivi. I think we've established.
Is
I'm
it?
go- Yeah, I mean, they're the one rampaging. The monster's just a monster. They need to be put in their place.
Oh dear. Ugh.
Like, clearly, I can deal with the monster I already have. But in terms of Vivi,
Two of those things.
I know. This is a good list, though, so I'm definitely getting past their defenses, inflicting a condition.
Oh dear. Okay.
Oh, good.
I am torn once again between exposing a weakness or flaw or gaining the upper hand for now. Confuse them for some time is also good, but I think I'm getting that one for free.
I thought you were doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Always. Oh, Vivi, I'm trying to find your conditions. Where the hell?
They are cornered, distant, merciless, or despairing.
It seems like a despairing moment to
It
me,
does.
but it's up to you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. So the condition.
Yeah, I think I will gain the upper hand for now.
Okay.
Against Vivi, but really just sort of over this whole situation,
Sounds good.
in that I have neutralized it completely. For now.
Okay, so basically what this means is like if you've actually like tamped down Vivi at the moment to just kind of get them get them to calm the fuck down, the Rift Monster and the Halimaw are dealing with each other, and I'm gonna say that they are fighting, and I think Garnet Cyclone has recovered a little bit and gone back into the fray, but stuff has happened to the pilots. They're Halimaw themselves are just doing what they've naturally done against the Rift monsters, but they're not necessarily being piloted at the moment. There's some stuff going on. Zero, you
Well, and Zero, make it worse.
yeah, what
Find
would
a
you like to
way.
do, Zero?
So my mind and Celine Nakahara's mind blended together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that that's going to help me take her Halimaw.
Oh. Oh, okay.
That's right, because you went out to oh my god, to look for Sakura. Okay, great. Oh man, wow, what a moment.
There's no way this could possibly go wrong.
Okay, so let's just say, because I want to see this, let's just say that you have found Sakura, and it is near the blasted heath known as the monstrous graveyard. But you know, you're also it's kind of like settled in maybe like one of the recesses in one of the more lush places. Like it's kind of like on a cliff and overseeing like, you know, what else is going on, getting ready to do its like psychic energy thing as Celine is going to pipe essentially prayers through it and such. But you can use Hello Little Monster.
Yes. So I hit max XP last session, and I took from the advance is a new power of darkness,
Oh,
and I took creature affinity.
nice.
So between that and having a little bit of Celine's mind in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
what does that get me here?
Well, well, first off, do you have any darkness tokens right now?
I don't.
Okay. So, what I'm going to say is because of this wonderful maneuvering, you get 3 darkness tokens that you can apply towards
Okay.
Hello Little Monster.
Cool. Awesome. So I am going to do Hello Little Monster. And I think
What vulnerable memory do you offer to them as you are attempting to connect psychically to the Halimaw?
so. Zero doesn't have a lot of coherent memories, cohesive memories from the time before he was taken by division.
It doesn't say whose memory.
Oh, I know, but he does have some flashes, some impressions, and awareness of the endless, painful, agonizing experiments that he was put through, the cutting and the branding and the testing. And that's what he is going to offer to this creature, because he thinks he and it have this in common.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll with 2 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Nah, 3. A 10.
Nice. You drift into the consciousness of the Halimaw. Your memories become one for a moment. Choose 2 of those things. Halimaw comforts and soothes you, clear one condition. Halimaw opens their heart to you, gain a bond with them. Or the Halimaw reveals a truth to you, ask any one question about a key you have, or uncover a key.
Could I pilot it instead?
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. It's kind of one of those things where I feel like I wish you had gotten an 11, like, 11
I
plus.
could spend a bond.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Ooh.
Yeah, all right. I will spend the bond with Celine Nakahara because it's her mind I'm using here.
Yeah. Sounds good. Because in which case the Halimaw sees something in you that terrifies them. Choose do nothing. Halimaw will lash out in fear and anguish, or mark ruin to allow Harbinger within you to force them into compliance.
I will do that.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think the Halimaw sees that terrifies them and forces them to comply?
I think it sees his anger. He's not angry at a specific wrong done to him. He's not mad at well, he is mad at division, but most of all he's mad at everything, existence, this world that he is forced to be in. He did not choose this, and he wants to make something suffer for it.
All right. If you want to pilot/control the Halimaw in this particular time, I'm going to allow you to choose one of those things because you've marked ruin. So you're like, yeah.
Yep, I'm going to choose let's uncover a key.
Okay.
This one in particular seems so connected to the base, it must know things.
Oh, yeah, sure. This particular mystery has incredible keys, and I'm just like, I don't know what to pick. Okay, give me a second. You're using your anger to fuel this control.
Because like him, this creature is shackled into a role that maybe it wouldn't have chosen. And maybe that resonates.
Oh, it totally resonates because this is a very resonating key. I think in whatever colors and images you project to the Halimaw, it also echoes your emotion as it flashes to you this particular vision, memory, also answering in anger. A collection of Halimaw organs, their rift energy harvested in cruel ways. And it is furious with you, but not at you. It feels your anger and again echoes it in kind. That is the secret it lets you know.
Excellent.
Yep. So
I would like to, with Sakura Vanguard, attack the base.
Woo! Oh man. Yeah, Division didn't know what the hell it was thinking, but okay. It was either this or being sent off to New Mexico, which, wow. Wow.
What would we have done with aliens? Who knows?
Oh, who knows? But yeah, what you're doing right now is like amazing. So, yeah.
I think the intent here, what I'm hoping to accomplish is I want to threaten Payne to get him to reveal those cruel experiments he did, or I will destroy the base. The failed attempts at fusing humans and rift monsters, that secret I found in his head.
Yeah.
Zero did not like that.
No, and then I mean, like, I think Sakura would be on board with this. You know, fictionally saying, I think this works out perfectly with this psychic bond that you've created. So yeah. Yeah, let's do a roll for this because this feels like, well, you know, not only are you making a threat, but it totally fits Unleash the Dark for this. And I think as Zero rides Sakura Vanguard back to the base to do this, to enact this threat, I think, let's say that over by the rift, I think you two are engaged in seeing the Halimaw push this rift monster back and push it back into the rift itself. But the cascade of these strange effects are still emanating from the rift, even as the Halimaw are pushing this thing down and back into the rift itself.
That's fine. I can take this.
Okay.
All right. What the fuck is happening? Where am I? What's going on?
You were basically trying to tamp down.
Right. I was
Vivi.
pinning monster.
No, you said you were pinning Vivi.
No, I was pinning the Rift Monster to get Vivi to, like, have a depressing realization.
Oh,
And I think that worked.
okay.
So the Rift Monster is pinned.
Mm-hmm.
The Halimaw presumably killed it by now. I have taken a condition about it.
Okay. Well, they've pushed it back into the rift.
Right, because there's another fucking rift. God damn.
I mean, it's breaking. I mean, like, again, it just reacted to what Vivi did initially, which was the collateral damage. So
All right,
yeah.
that's my breaking point.
Oh goodness. All right.
How do I get torn between? Because this is some bullshit.
Ah,
What does the darkness demand of me? I I am so sorry that I have not been rewriting this playbook.
all right. So
I
here's
keep meaning to.
okay.
But
So here's the thing that you initially said, what the darkness demands of you: to give unto the world the love of the unknown,
I'm
and to
keeping
learn
that.
the secrets of other monsters.
What are my other options here? Oh, they're all boring.
But if you're truly torn between your monstrous nature and your human heart, or when you are tempted by what the darkness demands of you, you make a choice.
When do I hit my breaking point? When
That
you
is
mark
if
your
you
last name condition. Right.
right.
I mean, I'm angry. I am clearly not being heard. And I'm trying to explain this in I am explaining this in the only way I have left.
Okay.
Turning into a giant snake?
Well, no, we're past that. I've already
Okay.
pinned the thing. Now it's time to deal with you, and specifically your rift that you've just opened again before it's too late. But I don't know how I'm going to do that.
I mean, like with torn between, like one of the choices is to let your monstrous nature show and describe the damage your outburst causes, thereby making you mark one ruin. But the damage could be
Damage can be anything. I could
yeah,
literally turn the seas to blood. Who knows?
who knows? You would be limited though that your effects would be for the rift as well as Island Zero, because again, like all the
Of
prayers
course.
and rituals and void channels are still in effect,
I
thereby
think, all
rendering.
right, fuck it. You know what we're doing?
Oh dear.
No summoning. I'm already pinning one of the two things that I need to close this rift. Let's have some fun. Let's mash a rift monster and a Halimaw together. And
Okay.
use that to stitch the rift closed.
Oh my god.
We're going to be real popular after all this.
Oh shit.
Hey, it'll never happen again. Unless, of course, Vivi does something else. Or Zero shows up and makes everything worse, like always.
I think you too, as you're
And I'm not ruling out Wisp either.
right. But I mean, I think as you're doing this, I think you see like, the energy signature, like it's kind of like, creating that I don't even remember what the effect is called, but I mean, like, where a light show will have the after effect kind of drifting afterwards.
Oh, I do know what you're like when you close your eyes and you get those like after images of whatever you were just looking at. If it's
After
bright enough.
images, and then like, like light when it's moving like really fast or whatever, then you see like a trail like of the light from before. But that's basically what you guys are seeing, because like the Sakura Vanguard has spread its massive wings, and it looks like there's something or someone riding Sakura back to the base. So whether
I don't know what a Halimaw is. I do know that it contains compounds necessary to stitch reality back together.
Mm.
So it's mine now.
So power through darkness. I mean, again, like, Apostle Solar and Garnet Cyclone are here.
Like, Apostle Solar is like already vibrating, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's big and it's fast. And
Cool.
fighting, or
Let's
was
make it
fighting
go
this thing.
Let's make it go faster.
Oh dear. Power through darkness? This is straining to do the extraordinary.
It sure is, for the second time in 20 minutes. Good thing I don't have any darkness tokens. That's a 9. Or no. That's a 10.
8 to 10. You use your powers with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you.
I am on fire today.
Oh boy.
What the
I think someone
fuck is
is.
happening?
Tell me what's happening. Tell me what exactly you are doing with the Halimaw that are here with the Rift monster.
I don't have a description of this planned. But effectively, Petri grows not in the like traditional sense or the usual sense that he just gets bigger or like changes shape, but sort of expands outward in a network of mycelium that grabs and sort of ensnares them both and then contracts until eventually they're both vibrating so fast they just sort of pass through each other and scatter in a brilliant, like, I'm imagining it looks like, so you know how a puddle of oil on the ground will sometimes have just a smear of rainbow across it?
Mm-hmm.
There is a brilliant flash of bright purple light as these two like vibrating shapes cross, and then that smear of oil is just sort of permanently affixed where the rift used to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it just right, you can almost make out the sort of petrified limbs and various appendages of these two creatures. And if you'll permit it, the teen is safe.
Okay.
Or the teen is off site, right?
Yes, it's basically they're back at the base, but yeah. Vivi heard screaming. So something happened to them. I mean, they're okay, but again, the effects of being bonded with the Halimaw had been accelerated where they are experiencing mutations. So you have to go back to the base to see what happened to them.
I can deal with that. Fucking who cares anymore? Mutating guys, that's a Tuesday for me.
I am going to say that this you guys keep on doing stuff to keep matching what ticks the clock forward, I will say. Because when you do this, you've given the Rift monster that you've worked on with the Halimaw more power than it can handle. It tries to scream, but it has lost the ability to. There's a dispassionate voice that speaks out. And it says, "My lord, soon the children will receive the same power. The psychic resonance will make sure of it." This is an echo that you two hear. And Zero, as you're flying back with Sakura, you hear a murmur in your head, but you're not sure what it says. So, I want to know, and anyone can answer this, who receives the psychic feedback as a warning? I mean, obviously not just the pilot, but I mean, like, I think this is resonating with anyone in the vicinity.
I bet Wisp's handler is having a bad time.
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
that feels like a Zero and Wisp thing, psychic ability.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say Luna Nakahara.
Oh, interesting.
Luna or Celine? Because Luna's the one's
Luna.
missing. Okay.
Probably both, if we're being
Mm.
honest.
All right. So the clock has ticked forward to halfway. And just to come out of character for half a mo, it's like, ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You are 7 keys on a complexity 8. And you guys are just causing tons of havoc. My God. This is great. Yeah. So, Vivi, you've grown and you have this terrible hunger as Petri has essentially phased the Halimaw and the Rift Monster together to create this new thing that has now ticked the clock forward. But you have grown and you're feeling this hunger. What are you doing in reaction to all this?
I mean, I don't know how functional Vivi is right now.
Mm.
They just did something terrible for the wrong reason and then got their shape moved around, and then Petri cleaned up their mess. Like Vivi's not in a good place.
Okay.
So
We are going to have such a conversation after
it's gonna be
this.
great.
You're
It's gonna
not
be
prepared for the vibes I will bring. Don't worry.
I can't wait. This will be great. But I will
I
say,
think
go ahead.
Vivi is like just staggering away from the rift back towards the base, trying to put some distance between themselves and this, and they're like, they look down and see the extra arms and they kind of like grab one and try to like shove it back into the extruded shape, and it doesn't really kind of go, and then they just kneel down and start crying.
Before I head back to 0 and to cliffhanger the the end of this session, Petri, what are you doing? Do you see this? Do you see Vivi collapsing?
Of course. What else is there to look at? The sea, the sky? That's all me now.
Okay.
I think I think Petri is also having a hard time like remembering shape. I think Petri, after becoming this sort of network, just sort of collapses to the seafloor and starts crawling back to 0 Island.
Okay. And 0. Yes. You are flying Sakura Vanguard back to the base, and maybe not as loudly, but you hear some murmuring in the back of your head, like sounds like a little whisper of, "What are you doing? Sakura! Sakura! Fulfill your mission!"
Can I tell that that's Luna?
Celine.
Or Celine, sorry.
I mean, again, it's you barely hear it as a whisper, but like you only just heard her voice, and like however long it took a while back. But yeah, you can tell it's her.
I think I'll try and send back over whatever the line that Sakura's busy. Try again later.
All right. So
the number that you have dialed is not available to be right now.
you...
Please try again
The
later.
monster you have dialed is currently unavailable. Please try to
Disengaged.
psychically connect.
Your call is
Disengaged.
very important to us.
You reach the base. And let's just say for funsies that there is like one of those like wide bay windows. So this way the headquarters can kind of oversee like a good portion of Island 0. and you hover with Sakura Vanguard in front of it. How do you convey your message to Commander Payne?
One big psychic shout to everyone in the building, directed at him,
Mhm.
but pretty loud, to tell them what you did. Show them what you did. Or I'll show you what I'll do.
I have to leave it at that. That's just so amazing. Maybe also too, the camera starts to zoom in on you hovering on Sakura, but then at that last bit, it'll stop right at your face, and it's like a wind has blown against your face up close, and we see your eyes glow.
Black.
Yep. Okay. Oh my god. All right. End of session. Let's go through this stuff. The Found. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I think so.
Yeah. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Did I?
I don't know about.
Hmm,
Yeah. I don't know
I
about
don't think
that.
so.
No. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
If the Halimaw and Celine count, I think I've learned a couple things.
I think that counts. That's fine. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse? Yes, you
I did.
did. And you don't have to worry about ruin in that case. And what was the impulse that you picked for today?
Did I reclaim a fragment of my memories?
I think you did, because you were thinking about it to the Halimaw.
Yeah, I took reclaim as a way of I interpreted that as he's taking it and making it his, using it for power, not just
You
trauma.
did that too. So take that point. All right. The last.
Hmm.
Did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Oh, Vivi is not nearly as in control as they think they are.
Yeah. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, with Petri right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse?
No.
Okay. So you need to mark a ruin. Sorry.
That fills me up. Hooray.
Oh boy. Ruin advance ahoy. What was your impulse for today?
My impulse was to find an innocent target for my grief, despair, or fear.
It was Petri. It was.
Or Garnet.
It was the teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and take that point. Yep. Okay. My Herald. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity? Yeah.
Very much both.
Yes. God dang. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Yes.
Yes.
I think.
I mean, you got
In
got
several
two
very
ruin.
specific ways, yes.
Yes. Yes. Jesus. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster? Vivi was right there.
Vivi was right there. Like, in some ways, I already knew everything that was here. I think what I learned is that, like, just how much collateral they will cause without meaning to, like.
Yeah.
I think the thing I learned about Vivi is just how fragile they are.
Oof. Which is a
Holding it
dangerous
together
combo, considering
barely.
their power.
No one asked you to be perfect. No one ever even asked you to be human.
I can't wait to hear these conversations later on. My God. All right. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse?
No. Not even a little bit.
Mark a ruin, please.
Ha We're all in
And
danger.
and your impulse. Did you enact your
Uh,
impulse?
Attempt to find meaning in your relationship with another monster.
What do you think?
I don't think I tried to do this, but I think I like in cleaning up Vivi's mess. This is like that was a very meaningful sort of step towards positive action for Petri. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I mean, like you even said it yourself. You hadn't done anything last time, but this time you had so much stuff to do, and Vivi was right there. So
Yeah.
I think you can definitely mark that one. Okay, so take that point. Goodness knows. Oh my gosh. Hi. That was a great cliffhanger. Stars and wishes. So many
Hey,
possibilities
thank
for
you for
next time.
letting me literally grab the premise of this mystery and just fuck it up completely.
You're not the only one. You are not the only one. You all had something to do with it. You all had some twisty things going on, and I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it. What the heck?
It was my stated goal last time and
You
fulfilled
hit
my
it.
wildest dreams.
You hit it. All right, great.
Other than that,
Sorry.
come back to me. I need a second.
Okay. I will volunteer. Ben Starr for doing the obvious, stupid, perfect thing. And also for that session ending. Both of those things were great. It was great to see Zero really decide to do it. It was a bad choice, but Zero decided it. And I am here for that, and I'm so happy for Zero making this terrible choice. It's fine. We can be in Terrible Choices Anonymous later.
Truly, what is the Omen class if not Terrible Choices Anonymous?
Serious.
Chris, stars for just cleaning up my mess today. I appreciated that, so that we can keep playing and not have to deal with, an apocalypse this second. And I thought the description of sealing the rift and the vibration and the sort of smear of oil of reality, that was so cool. I could picture that. That was a great bit of imagery, and so thank you for doing that. Mads, just very general star here for seeing us all choose chaos and be like, yeah, cool, let's go. And just rolling with our absolutely wild ideas. And I'm so excited to see where this goes now, because I can't imagine a worse way we could have handled all these things. And
We did solve the problem. This whole island no longer needs to exist.
That wasn't the problem, though. You came to try to figure out where the missing pilot and the Halimaw
Details.
misunderstood the assignment in the best way.
in the best way.
I'm helping.
Famous last words.
Yeah. Gosh, wishes. I am looking forward to having the discussion where Petri was the responsible, like, level one here for once, and I'm looking forward to getting absolutely yelled at, or however that goes. And also to see Zero absolutely yell at. I want to know whether the commander is gonna cop to their sins, or whether Zero's gonna escalate. I'm looking forward to seeing how that shakes out, because that was an unexpected and wonderful turn. So those two things I'm holding my breath for. That's it for me.
Okay, I will go. Matt, I really loved, you put so much emotion in your voice when you were having Vivi react to seeing what they thought were their people at first, and the way you handled that, the way you exploded a teenager and everyone around them. I really appreciated that you went for it within the bounds of playing comfortably for everybody, and that every scene between you and Petri was just great. Chris, as mentioned, the oil smear in reality, but also just Petri turning into like a network of mycelium, and like that was such a cool image. It was so fucking weird and surreal and nightmarish and awesome. And yeah, Mads, thank you for letting me steal a mech and go to fuck up the base with that. As soon as you revealed that clue to Zero in particular about the experiments, I was like, that's gotta come back.
Oh,
Like,
of course.
Zero's not going to just sit on that.
No.
And getting the opportunity, that was
Yeah.
so good. Thank you.
No, I mean, you're totally welcome.
All right, I do have more stars. All of my stars for Vivi have been mentioned. Matt, you did such a spectacular job. But the one that has not been mentioned is specifically when you were stealing the mech, Ben. I love the image and the entire process of like discovering one of the pilots and then going through them to the mech and just discarding them from the whole process. That was so powerful for me. And my wish is I got a lot of people to talk to. Not least of all, Petri has still not been in the same room as any of these teens.
Yeah. Well, when you guys get back to the base, whenever that is, I mean, like, you can see the aftermath of that one rift reaction. So, if there is a base, yeah. We'll see. Agree on all the stars. I mean, like, you all did the chaos. And even Vivi, who was like always, no, you shouldn't do that. We've come a long way since the don't touch that. Leave that book there. That's not yours. Even though it is yours, but you didn't care. I mean, like, you were trying to follow rules. It's like, and now we got the Vivi who don't give a shit. I love it. Oh my gosh. And then everybody's reaction to the things that were future apocalypses. Things that were happening. Hold on, let me see if I can remember exactly. The plan to steal the Halimaw. That's 1 star for that. The plan to merge a Halimaw with a Rift Monster. Definitive star for that. And then Vivi seeing in the rift causing the collateral damage and then turning it into something where you are not only breaking what your norm, your comfort zone was, but also just having this bazonkers chaotic reaction to being touched, held down, tried to be contained, and just, standing up for yourself, I guess. It's hard to explain exactly what it is, but like the almost feral response you had when Garnet Cyclone had you pinned. I was like, whoa, that's a different Vivi. And I loved it. I was like, star. So, yeah, I mean, each one of you had enacted something that was just like, what the dick? And it was just like, my mind's blown. All right, great. So, yeah, stars for all of you. And then wishes, I don't even want to know what it would look like when Wisp was here. But hopefully we will find out what Wisp has been doing since y'all like turned the whole island and base topsy-turvy. It'll be great. It'll be great. And then, yeah, you can theorize and then figure this mystery out. And then if we get to resolving this thing, fantastic. If you want to just enact a whole ton of vulnerable type moves, I'm okay with that too. You know me. It's like, it's fine. Just go for it. But yeah, this was an incredible session, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I think the first thing that's going to end up happening, besides the like, what do you remember from last time? Hopefully, this remains memorable. Um, what I'm hoping will happen is that, like, the first thing that will happen will be the Unleash the Dark roll to see how Commander Payne reacts to your ultimatum. So, yeah, let's just blow it all up. Oh, God! Oh, no. This is going to be repercussions, okay? So remember, Island Zero is not known to the rest of the world because they make it so. They make it with the prayers, the rituals, the void channels, all this kind of stuff.
They got their work fucking cut out for them now.
Yeah, I'm in charge of the Halimaw that does that, right?
Mm, yes. Oh, great.
Yeah, by the end of this isn't going to be Island Zero. It's going to be Zero's Island.
Oh my God! You planned that from the beginning. When
I did
told you
not,
the end.
but
By the end of this campaign, all 4 of us will eat a location.
Oh my God, this is like, like now I gotta go watch the previous episode to see what the portents look like, because it's like, what did they all look like for the future? Oh no. I'll be like, they have claimed a corner of the earth. Oh, no. Or other dimensions, who knows? Holy crap. Oh my God. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun this session.
this was great, yeah.
Just watching you cause chaos. Holy crap.
I have a great time every week, but God, this was a like, this is a kind of dumb fun I don't think I've had in any other game.
No, this is this is a different kind of chaos than what you experienced in the between, I'm sure.
There is something just so special about literally grabbing the fabric of reality.
Yes.
And asking it to play nice.
Oh my God. That's great. Yeah, Matt, if you can go ahead and copy and paste that portents list into our
Will do.
Discord chat, that would be fabulous, because then I'm gonna need that for later. Oh man. So yeah. I think we're on for next week. And it'll yeah, I'll post this as soon as I can. Hopefully, Elle will have a chance to watch it before next week to see the chaos you guys caused. You could try to explain it in the chat too. I'm fine with that.
We can try.
You can try. I know. It's great. Oh my gosh. So anyway, happy gaming between now and then. For anything that you do.
See you all next week.
See you all next
See you
week.
all.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.